there. All right, the next step is you've got to believe it.
Number one in your life's blueprint should be a deep belief in your own dignity, your own worth.
With this AI tool, you can turn
your life is deciding whether you're truly committed to being happy no matter what. Because life is going to throw all kinds of curveballs at all of us. So the greatest gift you could give yourself is, I believe, to make that decision and say life is too short to suffer. It doesn't matter what happens, you're going to find something to enjoy and appreciate.
You find what you're looking for. You want to get sad? Go read all the negative stuff. It's there, unlimited. You want to be happy? Go find all the free content around happiness, self-fulfillment, positivity. It's all there. You find what you're looking for.
I'm not an advocate of toxic positivity or rose-colored glasses necessarily, but I do believe that you get to choose the thing that you're going to go looking for. And if you can get up and say, I'm going to go out and find some evidence of a good day, the likelihood of you having one is just higher.
That gratitude allows me to have perspective at the end of the day, as opposed to focusing on all the horrible things or the bad stuff. It brings me back to perspective that my life is amazing, even if it's horrible. My life is amazing, even if it's the worst day ever and everything's against me. I lose all my money and something else bad happens. It's still incredible.
You focus so much on the negative that you forget all the positive. And then when you do think about the positive, you're not putting the energy in the positive like you put in the negative. I know how to talk negative just like you know how to talk negative, but it don't work. It don't help nobody. Because if I put my energy into something negative, automatically my body's gonna respond and I'm gonna start doing negative stuff. I was homeless too. My father wasn't in my life too. I've been in struggles too. But I've come to realize that when you think optimistically and you speak positively, you can speak those things which are not as though they were. You can say certain things out your mouth and make it happen.
Positive thinking is not about being delusional. Positive thinking is about learning how to take control of internal processes and understanding that that will shape your external environment. But it's about remaining in control of the internal landscape. It's about knowing that despite shifts in the external landscape, you're going to be okay.
This wave of betrayal, this wave of fear, this wave of grief, this wave of frustration, this wave of feeling stuck, this wave of feeling hopeless, it's temporary. It will come and it will go. And when you realize that emotions are temporary, it also gives you perspective to know that something better is coming.
One of my mentors, she had this business card that she used to give out to people. And it said that her greatest regret in life is trading in what she wanted in the bigger picture for what she wanted in that moment. And I always think about my life in that way of, is this what I want for the greater good, for my story to be, or am I acting out of a place of desire? Am I acting out of a place of wanting to change the way that I feel right now, knowing that that will hinder me, and that's not really what I want? What place am I coming from?
Smart people like the idea of being cynical because it seems like you've considered all of the options. Only somebody that's a smooth-brained idiot would believe that things are going to go well, but it fails to recognize that your experience of your life is largely determined by the story that you tell yourself about it.
Well, I think it's the idea of going, look, you can change the way that you think about things. So I was thinking about things in, I can do this narrow bandwidth of things. My belief system, the assumptions I've made about life. Well, you can get a job and you can work for someone. And after you get a job and you work for 40 years, you get a pension and you get the pension. I was on a conveyor belt. Sure. And suddenly I went, oh, I could believe anything. I could believe that I could do anything. I could believe that I could be the guy on the TV show telling jokes. And and you can. What you believe dictates your life. You'll be the barrier. You'll be the thing that stops you.
Life itself is what we deem it.
That's exactly right. It is what we deem it. And so you have to be relentlessly protective of the information that you take in, the thoughts that occupy your mind, the people that you surround yourself with. Because all of those things are influence factors. Another Stoic philosopher once said that, you know, when you leave your house and when you come back that night, you come back as a different man. You're never the same man coming back, right? And well, you're either coming back as a better human, more transcendent, more aware, more connected, or not.
So every single day for me, it starts at ground zero. I'm humble and I'm listening and my mind is open. And this is what I've seen and this is what I can tell you about. Everything that I look at, I try and look at from a humble perspective. And if you don't do that, it's going to be a problem.
Perspective is everything. Let's go. I need you to hear me loud and clear. How you see this thing is everything.
I just limited envy and jealousy, and I leaned into optimism and gratitude. If you're deeply unhappy, instead of blaming everyone else for it, put in the work to get out of it, because you can. I believe in people. I fucking believe in you.
How will you see the rest of your day? Because how you see the rest of your day will oftentimes determine the way you see the rest of your life.
Working on yourself, talking to yourself. That's so very important. Overcoming the negative conversation, that inner dialogue that's going on all the time. Even when you don't want it to be there. You can't stop yourself right now from thinking. You can't do it. It's going on. And so learning how to empower yourself, part of doing that is standing up to yourself. You've got to stand up inside yourself sometimes and say, shut up!
When are you going to realize that you got to get to a point and focus on the better things that are going to get you to the next level and beyond in your life?
Persistence, consistency, resilience, courage, establishing your priorities, mastering self-awareness, maintaining focus, believing that your help is coming. Because if your dream only requires you, it's not big enough.
Most people go through life never discovering what their talents are. Most people never develop their talents. They have skills and abilities, but if you don't nurture them, if you don't develop them, they will never serve you. Your gifts can take you many places if you develop your gifts.
All you got to do is realize that it's up to you to make a difference in your life.
The only reason you're not the best right now is because you don't believe you're the best now. And when you walk out this room, I want you to go in and tell yourself, I'm the best right now. He said, before you even become number one, start to proclaim it and say it long before it happens. So there are those of you who want to mimic their behavior. It's not their behavior you need. It's their mindset that you need. It's the way they think is what you need. You need to start to believe.
You have something that you brought to the universe, and that if you decide that my life deserves my developing this what I do well, and becoming the best at it, and mastering myself, and seeing what I have within me, if you decide to drop your buckets where you are and develop your gifts, I grant you, you'll never ever be without. I grant you that your gifts will take you places that will literally amaze you. I grant you that if you begin to work to develop your gifts, you'll develop a strong sense of happiness. You'll get a larger vision of yourself.
Well. Yeah, no. God bless you, man. Grand rising. What a beautiful day it is that the Lord has made. Let us be glad and rejoice in it. We made it. We are here. Man, July the 3rd. Fireworks today. Give me some fireworks, y'all. July 3rd. Powerful word coming from that motivational speaking clip that I'm the best husband. I am the best father. Tell yourself, I am the best. You understand? Proclaim it. Sit here. I am Coach Choc, aka Chocinhood. We in the building, y'all. Thank y'all for joining us this morning. Allbar Elite is bringing you this trading session. We start every day, Monday through Friday at 8 a.m. Central. Central. All right. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe to the channel, please. Go over to allbarelite.com. Go down to the bottom, click on that Facebook tab, and you can join our free Facebook group. Just actually answer a couple of questions so I can see how I can help you out. You know what I'm talking about? Disclaimer, this is for educational purposes only. Past practice not guaranteed future results. This company does not guarantee any profitability or any trade decisions that you make. That's totally up to you. You understand what I'm saying? But if you don't know how to do what we do, go over to allbarelite.com, click on this tab right here, and sign up for our Easy 80 trading course. That's all you got to do. Little Trader's in the building with us this morning. The Little Trader says, Grand Rising, my people. Grand Rising. I think Little Trader maybe want to bring in the word of the day. What you say, Little Trader? You want to do the word of the day? All right, hold on, y'all. I'm going to bring Little Trader in. Of the day.
All right, y'all. On this beautiful morning, I will be reading today's scripture. But Simon answered and said to him, Master, we have toiled all night and caught nothing. Nevertheless, at your word, I will let down the net. Luke 5, verse 5, NKJV.
All I want to say is trust in the Lord. You know what I'm talking about? You get what you want to from that. But that verse is serious, and it's basically telling you, trust in the Lord. Thank you, Little Trader, for that. What's going on, little mama?
Because part of beginning to get a larger vision of yourself, all of us need some area of our lives where we can have a feeling of competence. That people know when they think about this area, that's something you do. That you eat and sleep that. And that you do that. You do that. And people know it.
I don't care what it is that you're trying to achieve, what you're
All right,
trying
with
to
that being
accomplish,
said, check out
what
this
you're
news,
trying to
y'all.
give,
When I tell
how
you,
you're trying to evolve,
thing was slanging and
what
banging.
you are looking to become.
Oh, it was slanging and banging.
Everything rises and falls on
So
your
we have 8:30.
perspective.
Red for the news for USD.
If you decide to maintain
Let me stop this and say this. Today at 8:30, we have red folder for USD. I want y'all to understand that this is NFP. This is the first week of the month. There will be some craziness. Guaranteed. This time of the week is a very crazy time to trade, and you want to be careful. So let's go over here in other news and see what else is happening. 10 a.m. there'll be more red folder for USD. 7:30, we had red and orange folders jumping off, looking like a bag of Skittles. Little Lyman's jumped in there. I count at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 red folders for USD. When I tell you the market was going crazy, it was going crazy. This was a part of that news. CAD, it was red folder for CAD. This one candle here dropped down. This is enough. 62 pips on that one candle there, giving us a TP that we have been looking for. Great. Here's another one. AUD USD. The market dropped like crazy. Again, that was 39 pips on that one. Excuse me. On that one candle. All right. So I just want to tell you all to be careful out here this morning. You know, NFP is a great time to go into your demo account and trade. First weekend of the month. Just first week, not weekend, but first week of the month. You just want to be careful. Okay. So holidays coming up. Thank you all for joining and being with us this morning. See what we can win. See if we can find something. All right, so remember, let's just take a look, see what else do we have coming up. We didn't check, we just checked what happened. Let's go into what's coming up. And wait, there's more. 35 minutes, we got red folder for USD. More red folder is 50 minutes. So we have 8:45, 9 o'clock. Orange folder for USD at 10 o'clock. JPY, orange folder in 10 hours. More red folder for JPY. That's going to be 2 orange folders for JPY in 10 hours. Okay. And I think that's enough. Is that it? Is that enough? Y'all think y'all good with that? Like, it's going down. All right, let's go find some volatility in the market. See if we can catch something jumping off. We have some USD stuff coming. I think Canada was pretty cool. I think Canada is going to be cool. I didn't see anything crazy for Canada. It was basically just USD for orange folder. I mean, red folders. Yeah. Yep. So let's just see if we can stay out the way of USD. And maybe we can play it safe. Oh man. Sandra is in the building this morning. Grand Rising Sandra. Sandra. All right. Let's see what it is. All right. Starting with GA, right? Gonna start with GA. Starting from the bottom now, I'm here. Starting from the bottom now, here. GA was swinging things in a nice little downtrend. Now we can see that the market is pushing up. So I'm gonna look around here, see what I can find, and then, I'll let somebody else see something. Let me take a look at. What is this? This is AUD USD. How's that looking? That was a mean drop. That was a meaner. That was a mean one. So I tell you what I do see. I just looked in. Mr. B, Mr. Allbar has shown his face right here. I'm not sure put him over here. Let's just go with the first one over. Let's just keep things. Mr. B has shown his face right here. So I'm gonna switch this around. And I'm gonna let Mr. B do what he's doing. Oh, I forgot it's USD. We have news coming up. All right, let me stay away from it. Don't worry about it. I'm not going to put you in harm's way. I'm going to go back to GA. All right, here's Mr. B again. GBP CAD. Let's go to GBP CAD. Mr. B is on the 15-minute. Look at Mr. B. Go to the 15-minute. If you have our system and you're with us, go to the 15-minute and take a look and see what we have. This, I'm looking at it. It's a really nice counter trend trade. Do not want to put you in harm's way, but I do like this. We go to the 15-minute, you will be able to see what we have here. But I'm gonna pass on it just because. GBP CAD, looking at the catter. We did miss this one. Mr. B was sitting right there doing his thing. I mean, he was doing his thing so nicely. So just breaking some bricks right here. Breaking some bricks. Like to see what's gonna happen. Karate chopped the bricks really nice. These JPY pairs are looking the same.
Sense of integrity with yourself. That if I speak it, I'm going to live it. It's who I am.
I know you hate the gym. I know you hate to lift weights. I know you hate cardio. I know you don't like drinking water. I know you don't like taking care of your temple. You think it's the hardest thing to do in the world to commit. But there is somebody who's in the grave today, and if they had another opportunity to live, they would enthusiastically, with great confidence and courage and consistency, do what you hate just to live a little longer. Find the positive. See the bigger picture. Guard your gratitude. What price are you willing to pay to make the dream a reality?
But just look forward. Look forward to the best of you. Look forward to the mistakes you may make. Look forward to the failures that may come your way.
Hey, what's up, guys? I found this beer left over from some camp.
And don't give up on yourself. Don't throw the towel in so quickly. Many people give up on the 1-yard line.
It's up to you to understand that you do matter and that you got some work to do.
I would rather you confront, fight, and fail than for you just to settle for the comfort of remaining the same.
I just want to make sure that we're going in the direction of the herd, okay, this morning. So it's possible to have a nice little pullback here. Don't want to go in with the counter trend. I want to try to keep y'all as safe as possible. So I'm just going to set up right now for this this buy. I'm just going to wait and see exactly what it's going to do. It may pull it back a little bit. That's fine. So I'm just going to let it ride on down and wait for a right opportunity to cast. Let me see if we can catch us a bite. So we're just going to hold on to NZDJPY right here, okay? Not putting this in yet. Just holding tight, okay? Gonna do some fishing today.
Change is tough.
10 minutes, 9 minutes away from opening bell. 9 minutes away
Change
from
is
opening bell.
possible for some of you. The world's not going to become easier all of a sudden. No, as you mature, you're going to have more responsibilities, more things that people expect out of you. But the truth is, you can do hard things. The truth is, As long as there's breath in your lungs, there's hope in your heart.
Ask yourself, what's my dream? What's my dream?
You think you're just here to work on a job, pay the bills, keep a roof over your head, a car note, and then die? Come on, give me a break. Raise the bar on yourself, challenge yourself. Decide you're not going to be the same person. I want you to have the mindset that you're going to live an expanded vision of yourself. And you're going to go all in.
I don't know your name, but I know you have a dream. You may be listening to me in your closet, your bedroom, the gym, the car, the bus, the train, the plane. I don't know where you're going, but I know you are going somewhere. You've got a destination. Keep a no excuse mentality. Then the sky is not your limit. The sky is your starting point. I never get turned off. Every single day, I want
we're getting the setup over here.
destiny.
So it's finished playing out. We've got 1 minute left here. This is a little closer. I'm going to drop this in now. It's going to go to Euro GBP. Put in a sell stop right here. Doing a 0.86 175 entry with that's 0.86173. Sorry, entry, and then a TP of 0.860664. Say that again. 0.86064. All right, and then I'm gonna come over to NZD JPY. Looking at NZD JPY. Excuse me. Setting up a buy stop. This entry is going to be 87.746. 87.746. Buy stop 87.746. TP of 87.854.
I want my dream.
You got to have this vision of yourself beyond your circumstances. You got to see yourself every day. I can do this. I can make this happen. I'm blessed and highly favored. Good things are supposed to happen to me. You got to see yourself every day and get out of your mind those old thoughts, that old belief system. Every day you've got to sell yourself on that it's possible. See, let me share something with you. The easiest thing I've ever done was to earn $1 million. The most difficult thing I've ever done was to believe it could happen to me.
We all want to do something. We all want to be somebody. We all want to go somewhere. If these things are going to happen, we've got to stop habitually gravitating to excuse. You've got a destiny to fulfill. You've got a purpose to walk into. You've got a test to pass. You've got dots to connect, rooms to walk in, stages to stand on, and tables to sit down at.
But you got to put a new mind in you. You got to get out of your mind. You got to begin to restructure your thinking.
I'm ready to do this for my family. I'm ready to do this for my mother. I'm ready to win for my father. I'm ready to make history and ready to do something that nobody ever thought I could do.
And we mistake the fact that we're supposed to be comfortable 24/7. Well, let me tell you something. Comfortable is equivalent to complacent.
It's not always about the accomplishment. It's about the effort.
I choose not to be a common man. It's my right to be uncommon if I can. I seek opportunity, not security. I want to take the calculated risk, to dream and to build, to fail and to succeed. I refuse to live from hand to mouth. I prefer the challenges of life to the guaranteed existence, the thrill of fulfillment to the stale calm of utopia. I will never cower before any master, nor bend to any threat. It's my heritage to stand erect, proud and unafraid, to face the world boldly and say, this I have done.
Who doubts you? I'm worried when you doubt you. Because when you doubt you, you can't get nothing done. When you doubt you, every little thing that gets in your way turns you back. When you doubt you, all of a sudden things just seem...
All right, hold tight. Could be getting ready to rock some bells. Hold tight, y'all. This could be a tricky one. This could be a bell rocker. Oh, is she teasing whatsoever? Look at the tease. Nah, nah, boo boo. I'm right here. I can smell you. All right. Hold tight.
...to be harder, but out of everybody who doubts you, you can't doubt you. You got to believe in you. You got to believe in your ability. You got to believe that you can win.
Okay, I have to tell you guys about this because it's actually insane.
Just got an entry. We just got an entry on Euro GBP. I'm just checking to make sure it's official on my end because it is so close. I'm not in. What happened? Okay, Euro GBP is it just hit for me. I'm in.
Man, we rock the bell so very well, because that's the name of this thing. Rock the bell.
All right. So it's official. We got in, we got in, we got in. Now we can sit back and see what happens. All right. Let's get back. I don't know if y'all can still hear me. Something just happened and I lost part of my system, I guess. That's crazy. Not sure if y'all could hear me or not. Okay, I see I'm still with you all. Screen went black. Okay, I see that y'all can't hear me. Screen with the motivation of speaking went out on me. So, see if I can get that back going. And I do not see the same one that I was just playing, so I'll just pick something different.
Breakthrough is not in your talent, not in your goals, not even in your desire. It's in your cause siesta and see why. Let me take you back to a winter morning that hit me like a train. I was sitting in my car, hands on the steering wheel, watching the sun rise over a job I didn't want to go to. My body was there, but my soul was missing. You ever been there? Where the alarm clock rings, but your dreams are still asleep. I had notebooks full of goals, affirmations written in the mirror, YouTube motivation pumping through my speakers, but no consistency. And because I had no consistency, I had no progress. And without progress, my potential started to rot inside me. And I remember asking myself out loud in that car, how long are you going to keep promising yourself that tomorrow you'll finally show up? That was the day I decided you can't wait to feel like it. You must foresee yourself to be consistent even when your mind screams quit. This is not about being perfect. This is about being relentless. So today, I'm not here to motivate you for a moment. I'm here to push something deep into your soul that no matter how tired, afraid, lazy, or broken you feel, you can force yourself to be consistent and change your entire life. Let me tell you something straight from the heart. You cannot make progress and make excuses at the same time. It's impossible. They are like oil and water, fire and ice. They don't mix. If you want to move forward, you have to stop moving backward with excuses holding you down. I used to be a master at excuses. If there were a championship for excuse making, I would have won the gold medal, hands down. I told myself stories every day about why I couldn't show up, why I wasn't ready, why today just wasn't the right day. Tomorrow, I would say, tomorrow I'll start. Or, once I feel better, once I have more time, once I have more money, once the stars align, and that's the problem. We all wait for the perfect moment that never comes. The truth is you will die waiting for the right time. The right time doesn't exist. You don't need the right time. What you need is the right decision. The decision to stop hiding behind your excuses. The decision to face discomfort head on. The decision to tell yourself the hard truth. The truth that no one wants to hear, but that sets you free. The truth that excuses are just lies you tell yourself to avoid discomfort. Excuses are a shield we hold up to protect ourselves from fear, failure, and uncertainty. They are the stories we invent so that we don't have to feel the sting of pushing through pain or rejection. But here's the thing, the moment you start making excuses, you start losing. You lose time. You lose opportunity. You lose the chance to become the person you were meant to be. If you want to build consistency, real, unbreakable consistency, you have to kill those excuses. You have to bury them deep so they no longer have power over your mind or your actions. Every excuse you kill is like breaking a chain that has held you captive. Every excuse you silence is a brick laid in the foundation of your new life. It's the difference between standing still and running toward your dreams. I want you to ask yourself a serious question right now. How much truth can you handle? Because that's what this journey demands. You must be willing to look at your life and see where you've been hiding behind.
Right hand, man, we rock the bell so very well, because that's the name of this thing. Rock the bell.
All right, we just gotta rock the bells. Entry on NZD JPY5.
Behind excuses. You must be willing to admit to yourself the moments you chose.
Do y'all want me to try to find y'all a trade this morning?
Comfort over growth. The times you decided the easier path was better than the harder one. This is not easy. It's one of the hardest things you will ever do, but it is also the most rewarding. When you stop making excuses, you reclaim your power.
Okay.
You say to yourself,
All
I
right,
am in
so
control. I own
my
my
dad
choices.
is gonna step out the office. Do y'all want me to take y'all a trade this morning? Try to find y'all a little something? All right, tell me in the chat if y'all want me to drop y'all a trade.
I am responsible for my progress. And once you claim that responsibility, something miraculous happens. Consistency becomes possible. You don't have to rely on motivation or mood or circumstances anymore, because you've built a foundation strong enough to withstand any storm. Imagine what your life would look like if you never made another excuse. Imagine waking up every day with one goal: to show up, to push through, to keep going no matter what. Imagine the momentum you'd create. The small victories would pile up. The hard days would become easier. The impossible would start to feel inevitable. That's the power of killing excuses. It's the spark that lights the fire of consistency. Because consistency is not a feeling, it's a commitment. It's a promise you make to yourself to keep moving forward even when it hurts, even when it's boring, even when the world tells you to quit. And that commitment begins when you stop feeding the lies that hold you back. Remember this: every person who has ever succeeded has had to confront their excuses. They had to stare them down and say, not today, not anymore. Consistency is born in that moment of rebellion against your own doubts and fears. It's the moment you choose to believe in your future more than you believe in your comfort zone. So, start today. Kill one excuse, kill two. Keep going until you don't recognize the person who used to hide behind them. Because the life you were born to live is waiting on the other side of the lies. The path to greatness is paved with the bodies of your old excuses. Consistency starts where excuses die. So ask yourself, are you ready to live your truth? Are you ready to force yourself to be consistent? Because if you are, I promise you, nothing will ever stop you again. Woe your files are, no your andrs. Here's a truth that many of us struggle to accept, but it's one of the most powerful keys to unlocking your success. Your feelings are not your commanders. They don't get to call the shots. Just because you don't feel like it doesn't mean you get to stop. Just because your heart is heavy or your spirit is low doesn't mean your progress can take a break. Let me be honest with you. Some days you won't feel inspired. Some mornings, the alarm clock will blare and you'll want to pull the covers over your head and disappear back into sleep. Those are the days when your mind will scream, "Not today. You deserve a break. You can start again tomorrow." And if you listen to that voice every time, I promise you'll be stuck in the same place months, years, maybe even decades later. Success doesn't care how you feel. It's indifferent. It doesn't wait for you to have the perfect mood, the perfect energy, or the perfect mindset. Success is a demanding master, and it requires that you show up whether you feel ready or not. That's the difference between those who achieve and those who dream. You see, champions, real champions, act even when they don't feel like it. The greats in every field have faced days when their motivation vanished, when their bodies ached, when life knocked them down. But what separates them is that they don't wait for the feelings to catch up. They move first, and the feelings follow. I remember sitting in my car that day, feeling defeated, wanting to run away from my dreams rather than toward them. If I had waited until I felt inspired, I would still be sitting there today. But I made a choice. I forced myself to get out of that car, to face the day, to keep going. And that moment was a turning point, because I realized that it's not about how you feel on any given day. It's about what you decide to do despite those feelings. When you learn to show up on your bad days, especially your bad days, you begin to separate yourself from the crowd. Because everyone can show up when they're on fire and everything is easy. But true strength is shown when you rise despite the fatigue, the doubt, the pain. That is when the dreamers fall back and the doers take the lead. Think about the times in your own life when you didn't feel like trying, didn't feel like pushing, but you did it anyway. That's where progress is made. That's where character is built. That's where you prove to yourself that your commitment is bigger than your feelings. So the next time your mind tells you, "Not today," I want you to hear me loud and clear. Say back to yourself, "Watch me." Say it with the fire in your voice, with the determination in your eyes. Because every moment you choose to show up, you are telling your future self that you will not be defeated by temporary feelings. Your feelings will ebb and flow like the tide. They will try to convince you to stop, to rest, to quit. But you are not a passenger to your emotions. You are the captain of your ship. And the only way to reach your destination is to steer through the storms, regardless of how you feel. This doesn't mean you ignore your feelings completely. Feelings are signals, reminders that you are human. But they are not orders. You don't have to obey every wave of doubt, every shadow of fear, or every flicker of laziness. You get to choose your actions. And when you choose to act, even when it's hard, even when you feel low, you build a resilience that no storm can shake. You develop a mindset where consistency becomes second nature, where showing up is non-negotiable. Remember, the battle for your dreams is won one decision at a time. The battle is won when you decide not to let feelings control your destiny. The battle is won when you decide to keep moving forward, even on the days when your heart isn't in it. So today, right now, make that choice. Make the choice to rise, to push, to act. Because success is waiting on the other side of your decision to say, "Watch me," when your mind says, "Not today." There's a powerful truth that many of us overlook in our rush for success. Big change doesn't come from giant leaps. It comes from the small, consistent actions we repeat day in and day out. You see, success is not a one-time event. It's the sum of tiny, often invisible, steps taken again and again until they become who you are. I'll never forget that cold morning when I forced myself to run a mile. It wasn't about fitness that day. My legs were heavy, my lungs burned, and every part of me begged to stop. But I kept moving. That run wasn't about the miles. It was about discipline. It was about proving to myself that I could do something uncomfortable and do it repeatedly. Because mastery real mastery, is built on discipline more than desire. It's the same with every choice we make. Like the night I said no to Netflix and yes to my business plan. I wasn't trying to hustle harder. I was reshaping my identity. I wasn't just working on a project. I was declaring to myself who I wanted to become. And that declaration wasn't loud or flashy. It was quiet, consistent, and repeated every night when I made that choice again and again. What many don't understand is that repetition is not just a habit, it is the very foundation of identity. You become what you repeat, not what you say you want, not what you dream about in your mind, but what you do relentlessly over and over. The small things you do daily eventually define you more than any big moment ever could. Think about it. What are you rehearsing? Are you rehearsing habits that lift you toward greatness? Or are you stuck in cycles that keep you bound to mediocrity? Because repetition is a double-edged sword. It can either chain you to failure or catapult you to the heights you've always dreamed of. Every champion you admire has one thing in common. They mastered repetition. Michael Jordan didn't become the greatest basketball player overnight. He showed up for every practice, every drill, every missed shot hundreds and thousands of times. And over time, those repetitions sculpted his skill, his confidence, his greatness. The same goes for your life. When you choose to repeat small actions that build your vision, waking up early reading, practicing your craft, setting goals, you are engraving your success into your character. But when you repeat excuses, procrastination, and distractions, you engrave failure. The good news is that repetition works for everyone. You don't have to be gifted. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be consistent. Over time, those repeated actions build momentum. Momentum that becomes unstoppable. Momentum that transforms who you are. So here's the challenge for you today. Look honestly at what you are repeating. What small choices are you making every day? Because your future self is waiting for the you that's willing to do the work again and again without quitting. The you who understands that greatness isn't a magic moment, but a process. Master repetition, and you master yourself. Master repetition, and you master your destiny. Master repetition, and you become unstoppable. Remember, it's not about making perfect moves every time. It's about making the move day after day until you become the master of your craft and the architect of your life. The question is, are you ready to show up, repeat, and rise? Because your consistency today writes the story of your tomorrow. Discomfort, let's not sugarcoat it. Consistency hurts. It's not glamorous. It's not fun. It's not always motivating. In fact, most of the time it's uncomfortable as hell. If being consistent was easy, everybody would be living their best life right now. They'd be in shape, rich, fulfilled, peaceful, successful. But they're not. You know why? Because most people choose comfort over commitment. But I need you to understand something deep, something that lives at the heart of every person who ever changed their life. Discomfort is not a punishment. It's proof you're on the right path. If you're sweating, struggling, second-guessing, and stumbling through the fire, you're doing something most people run from. You're growing. Every time you step into discomfort, you're tearing away a layer of the old you, the version that settled for less, that said, I'll try, that made excuses, that played small. That version of you cannot live in the same space as your greatness. One of them has to die. And trust me, it better be the version of you that quit every time it got hard. Discomfort is a sign you're stretching past your limits. It's a sign that you're doing what others won't, so one day you can live how others can't. But here's what gets most people stuck. They feel that pain, that boredom, that frustration, and they think something's wrong. They think, this shouldn't feel like this. Maybe I'm not meant for this. But that's where the lie lies. Because the truth is, the pain of discipline is temporary. It stings, it drains, it challenges, but it passes. And in its place, it leaves strength, character growth. The pain of discipline is the seed of mastery. You do what you said you would do, even when every cell in your body begs you to quit. And that consistency builds trust in yourself. And let me tell you something, When you trust yourself, you become unstoppable. Now contrast that with the pain of regret. The regret that creeps in when you look back and realize how many times you walked away just because it got hard. The regret that comes when you see others living the life you know you could have had, but didn't because comfort seduced you. That pain doesn't pass. That pain lingers. That pain eats at you quietly, whispering, you could have done more. So let me be real with you. When it hurts, keep going. When it's boring, keep going. When you feel like no one's noticing, no one's clapping, no one's watching, keep going. Because consistency isn't about applause. It's about alignment. And most of the time, the most transformational progress happens in silence. That's the gap between average and unstoppable. The average stops when it's inconvenient. The unstoppable pushes through. The average person needs motivation. The is fueled by mission. The average wants results fast. The unstoppable knows that mastery is earned by repetition in the shadows. I want you to start thinking of discomfort as your training ground. Every time you push through it, you're adding another layer of grit. You're building resilience, muscle, courage, and discipline. These aren't things you're born with. They're things you earn by choosing discomfort over excuses again and again. You don't level up when it's easy. You level up when it's hard and you keep going anyway. That's the magic zone. That's where champions are made. And once you understand that discomfort is not the enemy, but the entrance to your evolution, everything changes. You stop dreading it and you start using it. So from this day forward, when you feel uncomfortable, lean in. Don't shrink, don't retreat, don't look for an escape. Look for the lesson. Because that discomfort you're feeling, that's your growth calling. That's your potential rising. That's your future self begging you not to give up. Keep pushing, keep climbing, keep fighting. Because when it hurts, you're doing it right. R-U-I-E-O-I-D-I-T-M-A-T-C-H-I-O-R, Let me give you a truth that might shake you to your core. You don't need more motivation. You don't need another quote, another podcast, another video to get you fired up for one more day. What you need is a new identity, one that aligns with where you're going, not where you've been. Because if you keep waking up every day seeing yourself as someone who's lazy, who always starts and never finishes, who gives up when it gets hard, guess what? You'll act accordingly. You will unconsciously create behavior that matches the label you've stuck on yourself. And it doesn't matter how many goals you set or how good your intentions are, you will always fight to stay consistent with who you believe you are. This is where people get stuck. They try to change their actions without changing their identity. They try to force new habits while still believing old things. They try to step into a future that their current self doesn't even recognize. And what happens? They sabotage, they shrink back. They fall apart the minute it gets hard, not because they're weak, but because they haven't redefined who they are. But let me tell you something. You can rewire your identity, and when you do, everything changes. When you start telling yourself, I am consistent, I am disciplined, I am focused, I am relentless, something shifts. Your actions start chasing that truth because your identity is the thermostat for your behavior. If you see yourself as disciplined, your actions will rise to meet that standard. If you believe you're unstoppable, your mind and body will respond in alignment. This isn't about faking it. It's not about pretending to be something you're not. It's about recognizing that your future self already exists. It's just waiting on you to act like it. It's about becoming the version of you who no longer needs to beg for motivation because they've trained their identity to match their mission. You are not your past. You are not your mistakes. You are not your inconsistencies. You are not the version of you who quit last year, last month, or even yesterday. You are what you repeat today. The decisions you make today are carving your identity in real time. Every time you follow through on a promise to yourself, you're proving to your brain, this is who I am now. Every time you resist an excuse, you're reinforcing the foundation of your new self. It doesn't take perfection. It takes persistence. Look at anyone who's ever transformed their life. not just change their habits, but transform from the inside out. And you'll see this same pattern. They didn't just hustle harder. They didn't rely on willpower alone. They rewired who they were. They stopped saying things like, I'm not a morning person, or I've always struggled with consistency. And they started saying, this is who I am now. They embodied the future they wanted until it became their present. You've got to stop identifying with your limitations. Stop saying things that trap you in the old version of yourself. You are not stuck. You're simply repeating what you've trained. But the good news, you can retrain it. Every affirmation you speak, every action you take, every choice to rise when it's hard, that's you sculpting a new identity. One that matches your goals, one that matches your vision, one that pulls you into a future where consistency isn't a struggle, it's second nature. This is where the shift happens, not in your circumstances, not in your schedule, in your self-image. If you see yourself as powerful, focused, and capable of doing hard things, then you'll show up that way. You'll eat like that person. You'll speak like that person. You'll walk into rooms like that person. And over time, the world will respond to you like that person. But it starts inside, quietly, with a decision to rewire who you believe you are. So the next time you're tempted to say, I can't stick to anything, stop yourself. Say instead, I am someone who finishes. I am someone who shows up. I am someone who is becoming stronger every single day. Let that identity drive your actions. Let that identity carry you through the resistance. Because the truth is, the future version of you isn't waiting in the distance. It's waiting in your daily decisions. You want to be consistent. Then become the person who already is. And watch your entire life transform from the inside out as Show-U-P-U-G-L-Y, Show-U-P-I, J-S-T-S-H-above-E-P. Let me tell you something that might just free you today. You don't have to be perfect to be powerful.
All right, y'all. Yachty! Look like we got us one. Got us a bite. Right? Something nibbled on the line. And I think it's time to celebrate. Let's go.
Right hand man, we rock the bell so very well, cause that's the name of this thing. Rock the bell. Some girls jam and some girls won't, cause I'm making money and your boyfriend don't. Some girls jam and some girls won't, cause I'm making money and your boyfriend don't.
All right. Rock them. We rock them. That's enough. That's enough. Got a little rocking going on. So cool. I just want to see if we're going to get back in on Euro GBP. Since we got that, let's just see if we can get Euro GBP to rock for us. We'll come back down into position, which will be really good. So I'm gonna hang tight for a little while longer. Just want to see.
You don't have to have everything together to make progress. Some of the most important moments in your life will not be your prettiest. They'll be the ones where you showed up with nothing but your willingness to try, to fight, to keep going when everything inside of you said stop. Some days, your best won't look good. Some days, your best won't even look like effort. It'll look like tears in your eyes and fear in your chest and exhaustion dragging behind you like a heavy shadow. But it will still be your best. And that matters more than any illusion of perfection. There have been days when I stood in front of thousands and gave the speech of my life.
Do this 7 minutes a day until May 19th. We start this Monday. In 1 week, you'll feel better. In 2 weeks, you look.
Right after crying in a hotel room. I've walked onto stages while my heart was breaking. I've poured motivation into others while I was doubting myself. You see, the world often only sees the polished version, the final product. But behind every powerful moment was a choice I made to show up messy, tired, uncertain, but still present. Because if I had waited until I felt whole, until I looked strong, until I was fully confident, I would have never shown up at all. If you wait for perfect, you'll wait forever. And that's the trap so many people fall into. They think that success belongs to those who are always focused, always energetic, always on fire. No, it belongs to the ones who keep showing up through the chaos. The ones who show up even when their hands shake. The ones who show up with tears drying on their cheeks and pain humming beneath their smiles. You see, real strength doesn't come from the days you feel good. It's built in the days you feel awful and keep moving anyway. It's in the early mornings when no one's watching, when your body aches, when your faith is thin and still. You choose to rise, you choose to write, to speak, to practice, to work, to keep the promise you made to yourself. And maybe no one else knows what it took, but you do. And that's what matters.
Yo, we talking about what he's talking about, and this is right on time. This goes great with the word for the day, Luke 55, NKJV. Okay. So I can pull this up a little bit more. Let's get back to that word, wrong word. There we go. All right, cool. There we go. So, but Simon answered and said to him, Master, we have toiled all night and caught nothing. Nevertheless, at your word, I will let
Hey,
down.
take a look.
Okay. So Simon lets down his net. This is, one of those moments that one of the verses I like to read. Um, Jesus, if you don't know this verse, it's telling you that Jesus even controlled the fish. As Jesus was preaching along the Sea of Galilee, so many people was there, and so many people pressed on him that he got into Peter's boat and pushed the boat from the shore in order to keep speaking. When he was finished, he told Peter to throw his net on the deep side of the boat, like throw it into the deep, and he would catch a great haul of fish. Now imagine the boat being sideways, and the shadow part is where the people are at, and he was facing the shore, but he told Peter to cast his net on the other side of the boat. Peter had been fishing all night, y'all, and he caught nothing. Like, I know the feeling, because I only been fishing for a couple hours and caught nothing. And I'm like, I'm done. I'm ready to go. This is it. They're biting. They're just not biting the hook. Sometimes you take the bait off my, hook. And Jesus is talking to a professional fisherman. And he knew. Can you imagine? He knew that there were no fish to catch. Peter could have thought, Who is this man to tell me how to fish? You know what I mean? I'm the man. But he responded to Jesus. Like, this doesn't make any sense. Why would I do that, Jesus? But nevertheless, because you say so, what else I have to lose? That's what he's probably thinking. I got nothing else to lose, I'm gonna do it. He went out and caught so many fish that his net began to break. He had to call for help. And he's like, yo, 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 help me, help me, help me, help me, help me. When his partners come over to help him, their boats were starting to sink because they were loaded down with that many fish. God controls even the fish. Yo. This lady in this picture is in a wheelchair. You can look at her and you can tell she's out of shape. She had been in that chair for a while in that condition. But she was a runner. But she's smiling. Why? Because she never lost faith in God. She heard the voice. She knew that it was possible through him. And later, you could see her running a race, a marathon, whatever it is, in shape. You understand? This is what we have to do. We have to have faith. We have to believe. Because God can do all things. Put our faith in him and not man. Let us pray. Father, thank you that this is a promotion. This is a healing. This is restoration to us, Lord, to restore our faith and abundance. When we walk in humility and obey your words, Lord, help us to thank you. Thank you for controlling the fish. Thank you for controlling the winds. Thank you for controlling the storm and saying, peace, be still to even the storms in our life. Help me to humble myself and do the things that you're asking us to do, Lord. Help me to do the things that you're asking me to do, even when I don't understand. Thank you, Lord, for helping me to keep my faith in you. In your holy name, I pray. Amen. All right, y'all. So that's it. We didn't get back in on Euro GBP, but nevertheless, got some good words, good information. We did win a trade. Just want to thank y'all for being here. Appreciate y'all. Y'all have a happy 4th of July. The markets will be closed tomorrow. I may jump on anyway just to say good morning to everybody, and I can call off a trade from our London session if you all want that. But enjoy yourself. Probably just jump on just for the sake of the algorithm. All right. Take care. And God bless.